that.
Wait, we're going outside of what we would normally do because we're normally working cold cases that have hardly had any resources whatsoever applied to them. This case has had over 10,000 man hours over the last 2 weeks placed in at Prosser. I'm confident in what has been done at Prosser. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna check it, it just means that I'm not gonna start there. We're gonna make the most of our time by starting where we know not that much work was put into. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Maliciousness does not deserve forgiveness. Cold-blooded, cold-heartedness, taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the Truckee teenager disappeared after attending a party at a campground. We are learning tonight that a new group of volunteers are coming from out of state to help find her.
Everybody just wants the same outcome. It doesn't matter who finds her.
40 to 50 feet offshore, you could easily conceal a vehicle right in here.
Doug Bishop and his team is ready to join the search for missing Truckee teenager Kiely Rodni.
We all have one goal. We all just want to find Kiely. I've just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify. We're also talking about a vehicle that is not going to come up the way a vehicle would if it had been under here for 10 years. Based on the height, it's not anything. However, I just want to make sure. The reason that this is suspicious is because you could dump a car down that hill back here in this corner, in this little cove, and no one will see it.
The team coming in just days after authorities announcing they are scaling back the search for Kiely.
We've had over like 9,000 man hours into searching, which is pretty astronomical. Our biggest problem is where do we go and how do we keep sustaining this?
They just want help. They don't care how it gets done, they just want it done. Hey, Nick.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was just doing a test to see if a vehicle did go down in here, if they had cell service to call somebody, because we're not far from where she had to call because of the apparently couldn't start the vehicle.
Right.
So, okay, just testing.
All right, buddy.
All right, bye.
So we've cleared the area behind the campground that was just behind where Nick serviced her car, allegedly, the day after she went missing. And we're now coming up along 894 as it heads north up towards Stampede Reservoir. There's a guardrail right there.
However, if a vehicle went off this, you would have evidence of it. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything, but at least we can say we cleared it, and she's not in this lake, or at least her vehicle isn't.
I hope it's an accident, because accidents happen, as tragic as it would be regardless if she's no longer with us. An accident is better than somebody maliciously doing something horrible to her. I mean, you could just imagine the way that would happen in your last moments, knowing that someone is taking your life, versus I'm in an accident and it's quick and it's just different. It's a lot different, and I hope that if that's how this has ended, it's an accident versus at the hand of somebody else.
What would you want to say to Kiely tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love you. And we're all looking, and we're trying so hard, and I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up, and just hang in there, sweetie, because we'll find you soon and bring you home.
Intensifying search for a missing 16-year-old California girl who vanished after a campground party. Police are treating this as a possible abduction.
Investigators believe someone knows something. They're asking anyone with information to come forward.
When you miss a loved one or a friend or a community member and you don't know, that's a nightmare. But I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family, she's not here. She's not here.
That was, I think, the area of interest, but it looks like there's no way you could get a vehicle in there.
So we're here at one of the ponds behind the shopping center, and as we can tell, There's not hardly any access whatsoever for a vehicle, plus it is extremely shallow. We're here, the ground is a lot harder, so the tire tracks are a lot harder to see. However, we can see tire tracks clear as day. You got a tire track right here. Look at this. See that? Those are tire tracks. We also have, equipment there, trucks during the day, probably workers. But whether or not we can see tire tracks, it doesn't matter, because I can see out at least more than 100 feet. You can clearly see the growth. And the growth, the pattern in the growth, the vegetation, nothing's been changed. If a car would go in, there'd be a path, and a car's not gonna go that far out right here. There's no path, there's nothing cut.